Welcome to our channel of IGNOU Audiobooks, Indira Gandhi National Open University, School of Journalism and New Media Studies, SOJNMS. Certificate in Community Radio, CCR, English. Course 1, CCR BJM 001 Introduction to Community Radio. Block 4 Managing a Community Radio Station. Unit 15 Organizational Issues. 15.0 Introduction. Establishing a community radio station requires energy, enthusiasm and good planning. Once you know that a permission to set up the radio station may be available, you need to gauge the level of support the station might receive from the community you plan to serve. In other words, does anyone other than 2 or 3 enthusiasts want this station? You will need to get in touch with key individuals and organizations in your community, such as interest groups, local and state government, educational institutions and the developmental agencies working in the area and seek concrete levels of support. There are several organizational steps that need to be completed before starting a radio station, and another set of organizational structures that have to be put in place for smooth functioning of the station. A community radio runs with very few staff members and a large body of volunteers, and coordination between the two groups is one of the primary organizational duties for the station manager. 15.1 Objectives. This unit will help you understand 1. How to develop the mission statement of a community radio station and its importance. 2. The manpower requirement for running a community radio station. 3. How to build up a volunteer structure. 4. The role of supervisory committees in running the station. 5. How fundraising and audience response can become integral part of running the community radio station. 15.2 Development OFA Mission Statement. It is important to draw up the mission statement of the station before broadcasts begin so that the community is aware of the importance the station wishes to give to the needs and aspirations of the community members. A mission statement helps to inculcate the sense of ownership among the community members. The mission statement should be decided by the station in coordination with the community representatives who are associated with the radio station from its very inception. Any new venture, especially associated with media and technology, is often looked at with suspicion by community members. A mission statement, drawn up with community participation, helps to dispel doubts and explains the intentions of the radio to the community. The mission statement of a community radio is a declaration of the reasons for which the radio station has been set up, how it proposes to function and the role of the community in the radio station. A typical mission statement of a community radio can be as below. Syracuse Community Radio is bringing grassroots, non-commercial radio to the Syracuse area and serves civic, cultural, and educational needs through creative, diverse, and informative programming. We promote programming produced by local volunteers passionate about their subject matter. We give voice to groups, issues, and music that are overlooked by other media. We foster grassroots democracy through listener sponsorship, volunteer-driven decision-making, and as varied a group of on-air voices as possible. Mission statements of different community radios will be different because the identity of a community radio is contextual and its vision shaped by the people who use it. The common features of all community radios are: I. Broadcasting is participatory and grounded in the needs and identities of the people who are its primary listening community. Its strength is the volunteerism and support that the station can obtain from the community. 15.2.1 Pre-broadcast activities. The work to set up the organization structure for the radio station should start with the application for a license to the ministry. The application procedure requires the applicant to submit an audience survey report. This audience survey should be the first step for the applicant organization to begin interaction with the community. Explain the purpose of the radio station and how the community proposes to participate in the station's activities. It is also the time to identify potential broadcasters, talent in the community and its cultural traditions. After the application is submitted, the ministry will fill in information points in the application and face questions from the committee. If the presentation team, comprising a small number of core members of the organization and a few community Representatives are selected well in advance and given some preparatory time. It makes the presentation easier and more convincing. The broadcast license as per the Indian rules and regulations is granted to an organization, educational or civil society, but it is essential for the license holder to opt at least 50% of the management brought from the community. 15.2.2 Role for the community. It is important that community is given an important role in the station's operations from the beginning. This can be achieved by not only asking for community participation but also by finding a definite role for different groups of community members. At the setup stage, community members can be invited to suggest the location for the studio, become members of the program policy committee. Each of these functions offer definite roles for the community and help in developing the sense of ownership. It is important to understand the internal dynamics of the community and find place for all the subgroups and marginalized sections of the community from the very beginning. 15.3 Management Structure OFA Station. The management structure has to be set up as soon as the LOI is received and it is known that the license for operation will be granted. Successful community radio stations involve lots of people and share a common direction. The management structure should reflect an accountable, democratic, cooperative model where work is decentralized and as far as possible, all decisions follow the ethics of equality and justice. The station mainly relies on the volunteers drawn from community for all its work, but a few staff members are recruited for key functions. Many community radios suffer outflow of staff and volunteers who leave the station to avail of better opportunities or for social reasons like marriage, family constraints, etc. In some stations where a regular system of training has been integrated with the running of the station manager encourages the outflow so that new talent from the community can be included in the station. But most find the outflow of staff, volunteers a constraint to smooth functioning of the station. The station needs to put a human management system for the staff and volunteers to grow and move forward within the station till the structure, otherwise there is constant fear of losing competent and trained staff to more lucrative options like commercial channels flourishing in the area. The workforce in a community radio station will comprise of management staff, volunteers, technical hands. 15.3.1 Management staff. The head of the management staff in a community radio station is the station manager. In a community radio, the station manager has to wear many hats, that is, involved in almost all activities of the station. The station manager or general manager is responsible for the overall operations of the station. The main responsibilities of the station manager are development of the station's management structure, ensure that the responsible for the station follows all government directives, encourage community participation in committees and programs, decide and implement the salary structure of staff and stipend for volunteers. Working directly under the station manager are staff for program production who are expected to develop program schedule, maintain broadcast records and logbook, supervise volunteer management, finance managers who are expected to identify resource centers and funding opportunities, suggest special events for fundraising, determine the advertisement policy of the station, maintain station balance sheet and audits. A community radio has to have a motivated fundraising subcommittee for building up the station's bank account, while community members can be involved with fundraising activities in different ways. 15.3.2 Volunteer structure. Community volunteers are expected to provide information on audience response to station, take part in program presentation and production if skills permit. It is important for the station to make sure that the volunteers are recruited through a transparent procedure. A station should develop a volunteer application form to help manage the volunteer placement. The station also needs to put in place a system of capacity building and training for the volunteers to understand the demands of broadcasting. Service of the volunteers should be recognized and rewarded. Encouragement can be offered through opportunities to diversify their inputs and help in building skills. There are a number of ways to attract volunteer interest, such as advertising in the local paper, placing posters in community meeting places and positive word of mouth. 15.3.3 Technical support. A community radio will have to appoint a few technical staff for production and operation of transmission who develop operation procedures, maintain archives. A community radio is expected to provide the widest possible access and information to the persons and organizations in its transmission area. It is also in direct competition with any commercial channel or public service broadcast available in the area. The strength of the community radio station lies in its involvement and identification with the community. The management structure must encourage participation, access practices and promote the sentiments of ownership. The role of the station manager in all these three areas is vital. And the radio station needs to select the station manager with great care, making ensure that the person is able to interact with the community and understand its complexities. A simple operational chart for a community radio can be as below. Look at the screen. 15.4 The Supervising Committees. A community radio does not employ too many people on its staff but works through a series of committees, with not more than 4 to 5 members in each, and subcommittees to oversee different aspects of the station's functioning. These committee members normally do not participate in day-to-day functioning of the station, but the committees form a part of the overall management structure of the station. 15.4.1 Management Committee. The first committee that should be set up is the Station Management Committee. This committee will have representatives from the legal holders of the license, representatives of the body that is responsible for funding the station and look into its long-term development. The committee will also have representatives from the community and local bodies who will ensure community representation. At the initial stage, the committee members from community are normally selected through nomination, but once the community station is established and running, many stations choose to set up a selection procedure for the management committee. The organizational representatives are usually trustees of the license holder and nominated member 1s of representative organizations. 15.4.2 Program Committee. The next important committee for a community radio station is the Program Committee. There are two subsections in a Program Committee: Program Administration and Program Policy. The Program Administration Committee plans the broadcast schedule, ensures programs go on air as planned, selects and deals with volunteers, answers queries, ensures they are happy in their roles, organizes workshops for training in program planning and production. The Program Production Committee looks into specific programs done by individual program producers, oversees areas such as sport, information and music programs, and also ensures cooperation and coordination between program teams and the community. The overall running of the station is entrusted to the General Administration Committee, which is responsible for the maintenance and security of the station premises including studio and transmission areas. It also decides the policy for recruitment of staff and volunteers, scrutinizes applications from volunteers and those interested in running specific shows, oversees the duty allocations and plans other developments, such as extra broadcast services, expansion of facilities provided to staff, volunteers and the community, decided the schedules for meetings for each committee, etc. Usually in all these three committees the station manager, who has been appointed to run the station, is the head of the committee. The committees include opinion makers in the community, faculty members from educational institutes in case the educational institute is the license holder, eminent personalities residing in the neighborhood, principals of local schools and members from local self-help groups and other developmental agencies working in the area. The Government of India directive states that at least 50% members of both these committees should be community representatives. 15.4.3 Other committees. In addition, two more important committees have to be formed: the Finance Committee, Technical Committee. The Finance Committee looks into raising funds, expenditure on salary structure of staff, and stipend for volunteers, purchase of equipments and other establishment costs. There are many forms of income that can assist in the banking of the station even prior to licensing, and a comfortable fund base available for extension of transmission hours and a wider range of services provided through ICT for launching publicity campaigns help to take the community radio closer to the people. Technical committee decides upon the setup equipment, interacts with suppliers, organizes training for staff and volunteers, plans maintenance schedule and is responsible for all issues related to technical aspect of running the station. The technical committee also decides on upgradation of equipments, expansion of existing infrastructure and training workshops. In most community radios, the technical committee members are outsiders to the community, and one of their primary jobs is to train community volunteers and equip them to handle the daily transmission responsibility. In some community radios there is also an advisory committee, which is a solicited group from the community. This committee is not involved with the station operations and has no control over the actual broadcasts. Its main purpose is to advise the station on the communication needs of the community. In many community radio stations, the station manager is not a member of these committees, but can be asked to attend the meetings as and when required. 15.5 Community in organizational structure. The community itself is community radio's most important resource. Through their participation, community members come to develop a sense of ownership of the station, which in turn helps to ensure the sustainability of the station. Ensuring community participation is one of the primary tasks for the staff of a community radio. 15.5.1 Community participation. Community participation should include involvement in the station at a variety of levels, ranging from decision-making to providing feedback. Participation in decision-making structures, as members of program committee, other specific committees, fundraising activities, etc. Participation in operations, programming. Community participation in the day-to-day operations of the radio station allows for the integration of the community and the community radio and facilitates the development of a radio sound the community can relate to. With assistance and training support from staff, community members can participate in operations as producers, presenters, and technicians. Most community radio stations rely heavily on the contributions of volunteers. Some are run entirely by volunteers, others have a core or paid staff who work with a larger group of volunteers. Participation in broadcasts. Community members should be invited to participate in programs as guests who have stories and traditional information to share, as artists and performers whose talent can be used for entertainment programs. A third form of participation is through listeners' letters and phone-in response. Influencing programming. Community members also participate in community radio in the traditional way, as listeners. They do this through their opinions, comments and recommendations on programming. They can also show their level of satisfaction by supporting or failing to support the station's activities. The table below sets out the main levels of community participation in program and decision-making for a community radio. Look at the screen. 15.5.2 Feedback mechanisms. The biggest mistake we often make is to assume that we know exactly who our listeners are and what it is that they want to hear. In case of community radio, where we are dealing with a small geographical area and most often with people having limited resources, we tend to think that one survey at the beginning, needed for filing the application, and the interaction with community members during committee meetings or at the time of participation in programs would be enough to make us understand the community. Nothing could be further from the truth. Listener patterns change constantly, so audience surveys and other forms of data gathering should be done at regular intervals. Audience research also facilitates the achievement of the station's social change goals. It also helps to develop a profile of the audience for advertisers. There are two broad categories of data that provides insight into the audience response to a community radio. A. B. Data about the population in general. Data about people who are actual listeners and participants. Data about the population is usually what is collected in a pre-broadcast survey. This information provides insight into issues that need to be focused in the radio program. Demographic profiles such as age, sex, education and income. Community enthusiasm about the radio initiative. The data about the volume and nature of participation needs to be collected through periodic surveys because this data would be required by i.e. Finance section to provide report on the channel for advertisers. Program production section to assess listening habits. Many community radio stations rely on surveying the participation and needs of their audience through the telephone calls they receive. There are also the listeners' clubs, formed by people with common interests in proximity in order to react to radio programming and support the community radio. B. Door-to-door surveys. This research method requires preparation of questionnaire, use of volunteers to conduct the door-to-door survey and analysis of the data by experts. It is relatively expensive, but interviewer biases can influence respondents' answers. C. 7-day diary. The 7-day diary is a self-recording diary method used commonly around the world to estimate radio audience. Volunteers and participants from the community are randomly selected and asked to record their listening every day for a week, setting out what radio stations they listen to, at what time, and where, at work, at home, in the car, etc. It is not possible to use this method with illiterate respondents. A feedback loop is important to the work that a community radio does for development of the community. One of the major reasons why most community radios have very poor survey data is the cost involved in conducting surveys. 15.5.3 External support systems. Every community radio has to set for itself certain goals that would impact the community positively and accelerate the process of empowerment. To achieve the goals, a community radio needs to develop within the organization systems and operational procedures, but it also needs support from external parties. Within community radio, there is a need to make a continuous effort to get full support and trust from the community it serves. At the same time, community radio needs assistance from external parties to assist in capacity building activities, such as in establishing simple local training centers equipped with local trainers, which is more cost-effective. Some of the well-known international agencies like UNESCO, UNICEF, Ford Foundation and other similar organizations have extended support to community radio ventures in many countries, helping the stations to survive, improve community interaction and grow into an organization that is the voice of the people. Support from external sources is useful as it comes with well-defined project outlines, provide experts and trainers wherever required, and is usually linked to capacity building exercises, both for the community as well as staff in the station. External support can also be obtained from government agencies dealing with publicity and awareness programs for specific causes, from organizations like WHO for information about health issues, from activist groups like AMARC devoted to the cause of community radio. A case study. Community Radio Madan Pokbara is one of Nepal's first community radio stations. Madan Pokbara Village Development Committee, VDC, is the license holder of the station, but in practice it is owned, controlled and managed by the community. Madan Pokbara Community Radio was established with initial support from UNESCO's International Program for Development of Communication. The running cost for Radio Madan Pokbara is met by the annual contributions from the development budget by the Madan Pokhara Village Development Committee, VDC, which officially owns it, and Palpa Tansen District Development Committee. It also earns small revenue from selected advertisements and sponsorships. 15.6 Summary. This unit was all about organizational issues. We started with how to develop a mission statement for a community radio and its importance. In this unit we also learnt about the structure of a community radio station, the staff and volunteer combination for running the station and the different committees that should be formed to ensure community participation. The unit also introduced you to the importance of putting in place a feedback mechanism and explained the different occasions when feedback data may be required by the station. The other important aspect discussed in this unit is the role of funding agencies, advantages of external funding sources and the many ways in which the station can try to raise its resources. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next video with the next chapter.